Did you know that nearly 70% of all conflicts in relationships are never fully resolved? According to the Gottman Institute, even happy couples face unresolved issues. The key isn't to avoid conflict, it's to handle it in a way that brings you closer. But here's the shocking part: couples who argue effectively are 10 times more likely to have a satisfying relationship than those who avoid disagreements altogether. Yes, you read that right. It's not about never fighting, it's about how you fight. In this video, we're diving into 6 powerful strategies that can turn your disagreements into opportunities for growth. We'll explore why empathy is your secret weapon, how pausing before reacting can save your relationship, and why the words you choose during an argument can make all the difference. Stick around because by the end, you'll have the tools to turn conflict into connection, bringing more love and happiness into your relationship. Ready to transform the way you handle disagreements? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Art of Loving Disagreements. Turning conflict into connection. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship, but they don't have to be destructive. In fact, when handled well, they can actually strengthen your bond. According to Dr. John Gottman, a leading researcher on relationships, couples who manage conflict constructively are more likely to stay together. Gottman's research shows that how a couple argues is more important than what they argue about. So, how do you turn disagreements into opportunities for deeper connection? First, change your mindset. Instead of seeing conflict as a problem, view it as a chance to understand your partner better. This small shift in perspective can make a huge difference. A study from the University of Michigan found that couples who view conflict as a way to grow are happier in the long run. Next, focus on what you can learn. Every disagreement is a window into your partner's mind and heart. What are they really feeling? What do they need? Asking these questions during a disagreement can help you connect on a deeper level. Remember, it's not about winning or losing, it's about learning. A great way to practice this is by using I statements. Instead of saying, "You never listen," try, "I feel unheard when." This simple change can turn a heated argument into a constructive conversation. According to research from the University of Denver, couples who use I statements are more likely to resolve conflicts peacefully. Finally, don't forget to show appreciation. Yes, even during an argument. Acknowledging your partner's feelings and efforts, even when you disagree, can diffuse tension and keep the focus on connection. Dr. Sue Johnson, a clinical psychologist and author of Hold Me Tight, emphasizes that expressing appreciation during conflicts helps couples feel more secure and connected. Chapter 2: Empathy First. Walking in your partner's shoes. Empathy is the key to resolving disagreements in a way that strengthens your relationship. It's about understanding your partner's feelings and perspectives, even when they're different from your own. Dr. Brené Brown, a research professor at the University of Houston, says empathy is about connecting with the emotion that someone is experiencing, not the event or circumstance. Start by really listening. When your partner is upset, resist the urge to jump in with solutions or defend yourself. Instead, focus on understanding their emotions. Research from the University of Chicago found that empathetic listening can reduce conflict and increase relationship satisfaction. You might be surprised at how much simply listening can help. When people feel heard, they're less likely to stay angry. Try repeating back what your partner says in your own words. This technique, known as reflective listening, shows that you're engaged and truly understand their feelings. Another way to practice empathy is to put yourself in your partner's shoes. Imagine how they must be feeling and why. This isn't always easy, especially in the heat of the moment, but it's worth the effort. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that couples who regularly practice empathy experience fewer conflicts and report higher levels of satisfaction. Empathy also means being open to your partner's point of view, even when you disagree. This doesn't mean you have to give up your own perspective, but it does mean valuing theirs. When both partners feel respected and understood, it's easier to find a compromise that works for both of you. Lastly, remember that empathy is a skill, not a trait. It can be developed and strengthened over time. Practice it regularly, and you'll find that disagreements become less about conflict and more about connection. As author Stephen Covey famously said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." Chapter 3, The Calm Within the Storm, Mastering Emotional Regulation. When disagreements get heated, it's easy to say things you don't mean. That's why emotional regulation is so important. Keeping your cool allows you to stay focused on resolving the issue rather than escalating the conflict. Start by recognizing your triggers. We all have them, those little things that set us off. Maybe it's a certain tone of voice or a specific phrase. Knowing what triggers you can help you prepare for how to respond calmly. A study from the University of California, Berkeley found that people who are aware of their emotional triggers are better at managing stress and conflict in relationships. One effective technique for emotional regulation is deep breathing. It might sound simple, but it works. Taking a few deep breaths can help lower your heart rate and calm your nervous system. This gives you the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. According to research from Harvard Medical School, deep breathing exercises can reduce anxiety and improve emotional control. Another strategy is to take a short break from the conversation. There's no shame in stepping away to cool down. In fact, it's one of the best things you can do to prevent saying something you'll regret later. Just be sure to communicate that you need a moment to calm down and that you'll return to the conversation when you're ready. Mindfulness is also a powerful tool for emotional regulation. By staying present and aware of your emotions, you can better manage them. A study published in Mindfulness Journal found that couples who practiced mindfulness together experienced lower levels of conflict and higher relationship satisfaction. Finally, remember that it's okay to feel angry or upset. Emotions are natural, but it's how you handle them that matters. By practicing emotional regulation, you can ensure that your disagreements lead to constructive outcomes, not hurtful exchanges. As Aristotle wisely said, anybody can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. Chapter 4, Speak with Love, The Language of Healthy Conflict. How you say something can be more important than what you say. The language you use during a disagreement can either fuel the fire or soothe the situation. According to Dr. Marshall Rosenberg, the founder of nonviolent communication, using compassionate language is key to resolving conflicts peacefully. Start by being mindful of your tone. A calm, gentle tone can prevent a conversation from escalating into a fight. Research from the University of Arizona found that couples who maintain a neutral or warm tone during arguments are more likely to resolve conflicts without lingering resentment. Another strategy is to avoid absolutes like always and never. Phrases like "you never help out" or "you always forget" are not only inaccurate but also likely to make your partner defensive. Instead, focus on specific behaviors and how they make you feel. For example, "I feel stressed when the dishes pile up" is much less likely to trigger a defensive reaction. Using positive language can also help. Instead of focusing on what your partner is doing wrong, highlight what they're doing right and how they can improve. This approach, known as positive framing, is supported by research from Stanford University, which shows that positive feedback is more effective in encouraging change than criticism. Active listening is another crucial part of speaking with love. Show your partner that you're engaged by nodding, maintaining eye contact, and offering verbal affirmations like "I see" or "that makes sense." This not only makes your partner feel heard but also keeps the conversation focused and constructive. Finally, practice using "we" language. This shifts the focus from blaming each other to working together as a team. For example, saying "how can we fix this?" instead of "what are you going to do about it?" fosters a sense of partnership. According to a study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, couples who use "we" language experience greater relationship satisfaction and are better at resolving conflicts. Chapter 5, The Power of Pause, Reflect Before You React. When emotions run high, it's easy to react without thinking. But a quick reaction often leads to regret. That's where the power of pause comes in. Taking a moment to reflect before responding can make all the difference in how a disagreement unfolds. Start by recognizing when you need to pause. If you feel your heart racing or your mind clouding with anger, that's a sign to take a step back. According to the American Psychological Association, pausing before responding can help you avoid saying something you don't mean and gives you time to think more clearly. One effective way to pause is to count to 10. This simple technique has been recommended by psychologists for years because it allows you to cool down and regain control of your emotions. A study from the University of Texas found that couples who practice this technique during arguments are better at managing conflict and are less likely to say hurtful things. Another strategy is to take a short break from the conversation. This doesn't mean walking away in anger, but rather asking for a few minutes to gather your thoughts. Let your partner know that you're taking a break to ensure the conversation remains constructive. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that taking a break during heated moments can reduce the intensity of the argument and lead to better outcomes. During this pause, focus on calming techniques like deep breathing or visualization. Imagine the conversation going well, with both of you feeling heard and respected. This mental rehearsal can help you return to the discussion with a more positive and open mindset. Finally, use the pause to think about your goals for the conversation. What do you hope to achieve? What's the best way to communicate your feelings? By reflecting on these questions, you can steer the conversation in a more productive direction. As Dr. Stephen Covey advises in his book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. Knowing your desired outcome can help you navigate the disagreement more effectively. Chapter 6, United in Resolution, Building Solutions Together. When it comes to resolving conflicts, working together is key. The best solutions are those that both partners feel good about. Collaboration, not compromise, is the goal here. It's about finding a win-win situation where both of you feel heard and respected. Start by focusing on the issue, not the person. Attack the problem, not each other. This approach, known as issue-focused conflict resolution, is more effective and less damaging to the relationship. Research from Harvard Law School shows that couples who focus on resolving the issue rather than attacking each other are more likely to find lasting solutions. Next, brainstorm together. Come up with as many solutions as possible, even if some seem silly at first. The idea is to explore all options before deciding on the best one. This collaborative approach is supported by research from the University of California, which found that couples who brainstorm solutions together are more satisfied with the outcomes of their conflicts. It's also important to be flexible. Be willing to try different approaches and see what works best for both of you. Flexibility in problem solving is linked to higher relationship satisfaction, according to a study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family. Another key strategy is to agree on a solution that both of you feel comfortable with. This might require some give and take, but the goal is to reach a resolution that meets both of your needs. A study from the University of Washington found that couples who agree on solutions together report higher levels of happiness and less resentment. Finally, follow up on the resolution. Check in with each other to see how things are going and if any adjustments are needed. This ongoing communication ensures that the solution is working and that both partners feel good about the outcome. Dr. Sue Johnson, the author of Hold Me Tight, emphasizes that regular check-ins are crucial for maintaining a healthy, connected relationship. By building solutions together, you not only resolve the immediate conflict but also strengthen your relationship for the future. Working as a team creates a sense of unity and trust, which is the foundation of a healthy and happy partnership. For more awesome content, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned.